Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bible in a Year, making it easier to understand. Thanks so much for joining us today.
We're all about reflecting the timeless truth of the Bible through the lens of today's world, making it relatable, understandable, and alive for your everyday life.
We're excited to dive into today's verses with fresh insights. Let's jump right in.
Welcome back to Bible in a Year, making it easier to understand. I'm John.
And I'm Stephanie. And honestly, John, today was the first day I was tempted to skip the reading.
Stephanie, scandalous.
I'm serious. I opened my Bible to Genesis 36, and it looked like a phone book from 1995. It was just name after name after name. Eliphaz, Reuel, Jush, Jalam, Korah. My eyes glazed over. I felt like I was reading the credits to a movie I didn't watch.
You are definitely not alone. We call this the genealogy wall. A lot of people hit Genesis 36 or 1 Chronicles and they bounce off. They think, okay, God, I trust you. These people existed. Let's move on to the action.
Exactly. Why do we need to know that Descendants was the son of Anna? It feels like filler.
It feels like filler, but it's actually the foundation. If you skip this, you miss the punchline of the whole Old Testament. Because Genesis 36 isn't just a list of names, it's a scoreboard.
A scoreboard? Okay, who is playing?
Team Esau versus Team Jacob. Remember, these are the twin brothers. They've been fighting since the womb. Jacob stole the blessing, right?
Right. Jacob got the covenant blessing. Esau got the leftovers.
Exactly. So, logically, we expect the Bible to show us Jacob winning and Esau losing. We expect Jacob to be rich and powerful and Esau to be struggling. But Genesis 36 throws a curveball. It gives us the Toledot, the generations of Esau. And what do we see?
Well, when I pushed through the names, I saw a lot of chiefs.
Yes. Chief Timon, Chief Omar, Chief Kenaz. The Hebrew word there is Aleph. It means a military commander, a leader of 1,000. It's like a general or a duke. Esau's kids aren't shepherds. They are warlords. They are conquering territory.
And Jacob's kids?
Jacob's kids are currently shepherding goats and fighting over a coat. They are a mess. But Esau? Esau is building an empire. Look at verse 31 of Genesis 36. This is the key to the whole chapter.
Let me find it. Okay, verse 31. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the Israelites.
Stop right there. That is a massive statement. Before any king reigned over Israel.
That sounds like a dig. Like, hey, Israel, remember when you were nobodies? Esau already had a monarchy.
It's the tortoise and the hare. Esau is the hare. He is fast. He is flashy. He leaves the starting line and immediately establishes a political structure. He has a land, Mount Seir. He has a government. He has a military. He has kings.
While Israel
is about to go into slavery for 400 years, Israel won't have a king for centuries, not until Saul and David.
Wow. So if you were living back then, looking at these two brothers, you'd say God's blessing was clearly on Esau.
100%. If you looked with human eyes, Esau is the success story. He followed his passion. He married the local girls, the Canaanites. He consolidated power. He's the guy who made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Jacob is the guy who is still living in his dad's basement, or tent in this case, waiting for a promise that hasn't happened yet.
That is actually really comforting. Because sometimes I look around at people who aren't following God, and they seem to be winning. They have the promotions, the nice houses, the easy lives. And I'm over here trying to be faithful, and it feels like a struggle.
It's the ancient struggle, Steph. Genesis 36 is telling us, don't be impressed by early speed. Esau's kingdom rose fast, but where is Edom today?
Gone. It's dust.
Exactly. But Israel? The slow, struggling, limping family of Jacob? They are still here. Their king, Jesus, reigns forever. Right. And there are some wild details hidden in there too. Did you see the note about the donkeys?
Okay, that changes how I read the list. It's not just names. It's a record of fleeting glory. Wait, I think I missed that.
Verse 24. This is the Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness while he was pasturing the donkeys for his father Zebeon.
Random. Why is that in the Bible? He found hot springs.
I love it because it's so human. In the middle of this high-stakes political history, the writer pauses to say, "Oh yeah, and Anna? He's the guy who found the jacuzzi in the desert." It grounds the text. These were real people, living real lives, getting excited about finding water in a dry land.
It does make it feel more real. It's not just a theology textbook, it's history.
And then we have the reading from 1 Chronicles. Now we need to set the stage here. Genesis was written by Moses, probably around 1400 BC. Chronicles was written by Ezra, traditionally around 450 BC. That's a 1,000-year time jump.
Whoa. So we just fast-forwarded a millennium.
We did. 1 Chronicles is written for the people coming back from the exile. They've been slaves in Babylon. Jerusalem is destroyed. They have no king. They are asking, are we still God's people? Does God even remember us?
That's a heartbreaking place to be.
It is. And the chronicler answers them with a list.
A list? How does a list help a broken heart?
Imagine you lost your house in a fire. You lost all your photos, all your documents. You feel like you've lost your identity. And then someone hands you a box, and inside is your birth certificate, your grandfather's journal, and the deed to your land.
Okay, I'd probably cry.
That is what 1 Chronicles 1 is. It starts with one word, Adam.
Adam, Seth, Enosh.
It traces the line all the way from the first human being, through Noah, through Abraham, right down to them. It's God saying, I haven't forgotten a single name. I know exactly who you are. You aren't an accident. You are a continuation. Precisely. And notice how he structures it. In 1 Chronicles 1, he lists Esau's family before Jacob's family.
That gives me chills. So the boring list is actually God's way of saying, you belong. Just like in Genesis?
Yes, he clears the decks. He lists the nations of the world. Then he lists Ishmael. Then he lists Esau. He acknowledges them, honors them, and then moves them aside to zoom in on the main event, Israel.
It's like a camera focusing. Wide shot of the world, then zooming in, until we get to the heart of the story.
And that heart is where we find the hope. Because while Esau had kings before Israel, Israel has the king who matters most.
I love that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that word chief again, aloof, and why trying to be the chief of your own life might actually be the fastest way to lose it.
Don't go anywhere. And we are back. Okay, Stephanie, before the break, we left Esau winning the race. He has the land, the money, and the power. But there is a specific word in Genesis 36 that we need to unpack because it explains how he built his empire so fast.
I think I know the one. I circled it in my Bible. It's the word chief.
Yes. Chief Eliphaz, Chief Reuel, Chief Korah. In the King James Version, they translate it as Duke. Duke Eliphaz.
Which makes me think of British royalty drinking tea. But I'm guessing these guys weren't drinking Earl Grey?
Definitely not. They were drinking the blood of their enemies. Okay, maybe that's too dark. But they were warriors. The Hebrew word here is aloof.
Aloof. It sounds like aloof.
It does, and there might even be a connection there in English, but in Hebrew, it comes from the root word aleph. Do you know what aleph is?
It's the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, like A.
Exactly. But in the ancient pictographs, the pictures used before they had block letters, the letter aleph was drawn as an ox head.
An ox head?
Right. Because an ox represents strength, power, the number one, the leader of the herd. So when Genesis 36 calls Esau's grandsons Aluphim, it's calling them the alphas. They are the oxen. They are the generals. In fact, in modern Israel today, the rank of general in the IDF is still called aloof.
Oh, wow. So this isn't just Uncle Eliphaz who runs the family reunion. These are military commanders.
Precisely. Esau didn't just build a family. He built a military-industrial complex. He established a hierarchy of power based on strength and dominance. He is the ultimate alpha male archetype. He conquers the Harites. He takes their land, and he sets up a system of chiefs and kings.
Okay, so let's hold up the mirror. Because when I look at our culture, especially on social media, we are obsessed with being the chief.
Oh, absolutely. What's the bio everyone wants? CEO, founder, boss.
Girl boss, entrepreneur. We have lists like Forbes 30 under 30, We celebrate people who achieve massive power and titles incredibly fast. If you aren't an aloof, a chief, by the time you're 25, you feel like you're behind.
That is the spirit of Edom. It's the drive for immediate, visible, hierarchical power. Esau looked at the slow, plodding life of his father Isaac and said, I want more, and I want it now. And he got it. That's the scary part. He got the titles. He got the kingship.
But Jacob doesn't have any of that.
No. While Esau is crowning kings and appointing generals, what is Jacob doing?
He's grieving the loss of Joseph. He's worrying about famine. He's dealing with his sons making terrible choices. He's just surviving.
He is. He's the tortoise. He's moving slowly. He has no titles. He has no kingdom. He's just a sojourner.
It reminds me of that feeling when you go to a high school reunion. You know, you walk in and there's the Esau. He's driving the sports car. He's the VP of the company. He's got the perfect tan. And you're standing there thinking, I'm still trying to figure out my 401k.
Yes. And you feel small. You feel like, did I miss God's blessing? Because that guy clearly has it.
Exactly. It makes you question if you're on the right path.
But here is the modern mirror twist. We define success by the Aleph, by the title, the speed, and the visibility. God defines success by the root system. Esau grew tall, fast, like a weed. Jacob grew deep, slow, like an oak tree.
And weeds die fast.
Weeds die fast. Edom had kings before Israel, but Edom is gone. There are no Edomites today. There is no Republic of Edom at the UN. They had their flash of glory, and they burned out. But Israel, the slow, messy, struggling family of Jacob, they are still here.
That connects to something I read in the text. Did you notice how many times the phrase Esau is Edom appears in chapter 36?
Yes. Verse 1, verse 8, verse 19. Esau, that is, Edom.
It felt like the writer was really trying to hammer that home. Esau is Edom. Red is red.
It's a branding issue. Esau sold his birthright for that red stuff, the stew. So he becomes Mr. Red, Mr. Edom. He defined his entire identity by his appetite. He wanted the soup now. He wanted the title now. He wanted the kingdom now.
And he got it, but he lost his future.
He traded the eternal for the immediate. And Steph, that is the trap for every modern seeker listening right now. We are being sold a lie that if we don't have the title, the followers, or the chief status right now, we are failing. But Genesis 36 is a warning label. It says, beware of getting what you want too quickly.
That's heavy, because waiting is painful. Jacob's life was hard.
It was. But look at what grew out of that hardship. Because Jacob didn't have generals or chiefs. He had tribes. He had a family. And through that slow, painful growth, God was building a structure that could hold the Messiah. You can't birth the Messiah through the aloof system of brute force. You can only birth the Messiah through the covenant system of faith.
So, if I'm feeling behind in life, if I see the Esau's of the world getting the promotions and the accolades, I shouldn't be discouraged.
Not at all. You should realize that God might be growing you slowly because he intends to grow you permanently. The hare wins the sprint. The tortoise wins the millennium.
I like being a tortoise. It takes the pressure off.
It really does. And speaking of slow growth, we need to talk about that genealogy in 1 Chronicles. Because if Genesis 36 is the flashy resume of Esau, 1 Chronicles 1 is the long-form birth certificate of the entire human race.
And there is a surprising amount of drama hidden in those lists. We're going to dig into the roots of the family tree and find out why this list was the most important document a returning exile could own.
Don't skip the names. We'll make sense of them right after this break. And we are back. Okay, Steph, we have covered the pit, the palace, the prison, and the incident with the prostitute.
It has been a heavy day.
It has. But now we have to land the plane. And we're going to land it in a place most people skip entirely. 1 Chronicles, chapter 2.
Oh, John, be honest. The genealogy? I love you, but my eyes glaze over. It's just so-and-so begat so-and-so.
I know. It looks like a phone book from 500 BC. But listen, in the ancient world, a genealogy isn't just a list of names. It's a trophy case. It's where you put your best, brightest, and most honorable ancestors to prove your pedigree.
Right. You want to list the war heroes and the kings.
Exactly. But look at 1 Chronicles 2, verse 3. Read that for me.
Okay. It says, the sons of Judah, Onan, and Shelah, and Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death.
And keep going. Verse 4.
Tamar also, his daughter-in-law, bore him Perez and Zerah.
Do you see what the chronicler just did? He didn't hide the family shame. He put the scandal right at the top of the list.
He mentions was wicked, and he mentions Tamar. Everyone reading this knew how Tamar had those kids.
Exactly. This is the permanent record. And here is the core for today, Steph. The tribe of Judah, the tribe of King David, and eventually the tribe of Jesus, doesn't come from the good son.
It comes from the incestuous deception.
It comes from the mess. And specifically, it comes from Perez.
Remind me about the twins again, because that birth scene in Genesis 38 was chaotic.
It was. Tamar is giving birth to twins. The first one, Zerah, sticks his hand out. The midwife ties a scarlet thread around his wrist to mark him as the firstborn.
A scarlet thread. I feel like that color is important.
Crucial. It's the color of the blood of Passover. It's the color of the cord Rahab will hang from her window in Jericho. It's the color of atonement. But then, Zerah pulls his hand back in, and his brother burst out first.
And the midwife names him Perez, which means the breach or the breakthrough.
Right. Perez disrupts the natural order, just like Jacob disrupted Esau, just like Joseph disrupted Reuben. The line of the Messiah is a line of breachers. God is constantly breaking through human tradition and human failure to establish his promise.
That connects back to what we said earlier. The interruption of Genesis 38 isn't an accident. It's the point.
It's the scarlet thread. Imagine the genealogy of Jesus is like a precious family heirloom. Let's say, an antique smartphone passed down for centuries.
An antique smartphone? Okay, go with it.
Stick with me. You'd expect the device carrying the message of the king to be pristine, kept in a velvet box, no scratches. But when you look at the Judah model in Genesis 38, the screen is cracked, the battery is taped in, and it's been dropped in the mud.
It's broken.
It's shattered. Judah is a mess. Tamar is desperate. The family is dysfunctional. But when you press the power button, the signal comes through crystal clear.
The promise still works.
The promise works because the power doesn't come from the people. It comes from the God who chose them. The genealogy proves that God's plan is bulletproof. It can survive Judah's sin, and it can survive Joseph's suffering.
I love that. It means my mess isn't too big for God to weave into his story.
And your pit isn't too deep for God to prosper you in.
You know, looking at these two brothers side by side, Joseph and Judah, they are complete opposites.
They are. Joseph is the innocent sufferer. He suffers for doing the right thing. Judah is the guilty sinner. He is redeemed despite doing the wrong thing.
And we need both, don't we?
We do. We need Joseph to show us how to trust God in the pain. And we need Judah to show us how to find grace in the guilt. And ultimately, both of them point us to Jesus.
How so?
Jesus is the true Joseph, the beloved son who was sold for silver, stripped of his robe, and thrown into the pit of death to save the very brothers who betrayed him.
And he is the Lion of the tribe of Judah,
Who took the scarlet thread of our sin and turned it into the cord of our salvation.
Wow. Okay, that changes how I see the boring list of names.
It's all there, Steph. Every name is a testimony.
Well, that brings us to the end of day 14. John, what's our takeaway for the listener today?
The takeaway is this. God is working in the split screen. Maybe you feel like Joseph today. You're doing everything right, but everything is going wrong. You're in the pit. Or maybe you feel like Judah. You've made a mess of your life. You're running from God, and you feel disqualified.
Wherever you are, the story isn't over.
Exactly. If you're in the pit, remember Tzalak. God is with you, prospering your soul even in the dark. And if you're in the mess, remember the scarlet thread. God's grace is weaving a redemption story that you can't even see yet.
I love that. Tomorrow, we are back in Egypt. Joseph has been in prison for a while, and things are about to get weird. We're talking dreams, cows, and a sudden promotion.
Can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow for day 14.
Bye. That's a wrap on today's podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us and diving deep with us.
We truly value your time and love walking through these chapters together. Your support means the world.
If you've enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a day. Drop a comment below. We'd absolutely love to hear how Modern Mirrors is opening your eyes to the text in fresh ways.
Join us tomorrow for another inspiring journey into the Word of the Lord. Until then, God bless you abundantly.